All right, ladies and gents, so like I said, it comes in 2 boxes. You've got your base and your stand and everything, and then over here in the small box, you've got your, I'm sure it's the Dueling Tree paddles that go on there. This says AZ targets on it. Hold on, I'll get you a little closer view here. It says AZ targets on it, AR 500 steel targets. So this is an Amazon company. I'm sure they've purchased these from somewhere. They're reselling them. I'm not 100% sure about that. Check on the website, Parts Mojo. Go over there. I'm going to leave a link down below. You can use this discount code for 5% off. This should help you guys if you're looking at buying one of these. But I would buy one from SOT Metalworks because we build great products here. So some fine folks don't have enough land or ground to keep their targets out and about, so they got to transport them. So this is something to help some of our folks out there. I thought it'd be a good idea to do a review, and that's what we're going to do. So let's get this box open and see what happens here. You guys bear with me. Like I said, I haven't opened this thing yet. You guys are going to be right along with me. All right. Like I said, pretty good packaging. I didn't hear a lot of rattling carrying on, stuff like that. So, wow. What about this? Looks like the stand feet. Interesting. Said I didn't get a whole lot of instructions about this, guys. We just talked to the gentleman there through the emails. Got all this stuff squared away. He sent me the product review, and we'll go from there. But pretty good looking paddles. I'm not a big fan of these paddles like this. We've had some club members down at our local sportsman's clubs that's had some of these. If you notice ours has a round rod on the back. I like it for swinging the paddle better, but these could very easily work. I find they get hung up just a little bit on the corners every once in a blue moon, but that's neither here nor there. Seem to be fairly good powder coated. I mean, not too shabby. So I'll finish unpacking these. We'll get these stand feet out of the way, and then we'll open the big box. What do you guys think? All right, so as you guys can see, we got the paddles out, got them unpacked. 3 blue, 3 red. I'm going to check the thickness of this steel. It says 3/8. It looks a little bit thinner than what mine does. Maybe they're, I don't know. I'm going to, it's close, but feels just a little bit lighter than what mine do. But I could be imagining stuff, So let's get over here and get this big box opened up, see what we got in it. Throw that stuff out the way. Now, I did tell this gentleman we was going to do an honest review. So if it's bad or I see something right out the gate that I don't like, you guys are going to know just as well as everybody else. No pulling the punches here. You call SOT for a review, you get a review. You don't get kudos if you got a bad product. But now, if you got a good product, woo, we're going to talk all about it. Because this is something we've been interested in doing here at SOT Metalworks. Dueling Tree 6 3/8 AR 500 steel targets. Got your pamphlet there with all your goodies in it. Got your box. It's got a little carrier and everything. Now, I haven't went over this product, got online, found out anything about it. We're shooting from the hip here, guys. So, got a few instructions on how to put everything together, so we'll get that taken care of. Got our base here. Tell you what, they got some good packing. I'll be honest. All right. That out the way. Sure, this is your arm to go in the base. Hold your paddles. See how this looks. Little light on the angle. You guys can see there. Not a firm believer in this right here. May not be an issue. We will see. I do like the tubing they're using. A little thicker than most of the dueling trees I've seen in the past. So liking that so far. I think that'll be a good option to hold up. Here's the other part to it, the other arm. And then we got our base. And she's a heavy duty. She ain't shy. Got all our hardware. Box out of the way. I think that's all we got there. All right, got our base there. And opening up our hardware here. Wing nuts. Everything seems to be semi-coated. It's not stainless, but it's at least like zinc coated or something. So that's good. Comes with your Allen wrench to put everything together that you need to put together. Not a bad deal there. Looking mighty fine. All right. Not sure on this coating here on these screws. It's a little rough, but probably gonna rust over time. That's okay. That's part of it. Part of it. All right, let me get this other arm unpacked. We will do a little trying to put this together and see how everything looks and how everything's going. So, all right, ladies and gents, we're back. Didn't do a whole lot. Got the other part of the arm hooked up, or unpackaged, I'm sorry. So, been reading over the good old instructions. There's not a whole lot of instructions here. It does give you a little assembly grid here, how to put everything together. But one thing I was kind of wondering about was this base. And I had an idea, but I wanted to check. And the only thing I see for it down here is 4x4, 2x4, keyhole targets, accessories, all products, dueling trees, stands, and posts. Like, okay. So, you could use this on some of your paper silhouette targets, your other target holders, whatever it may be. So you can run your 4x4. You can run your 2x4 crossways or longways, widthways, I should say. And then we've got our dueling tree hole here. And I don't know why there's two. I'm kind of confused about this. But that's very, very perfect. As you see, one is for straight. And one is to put the angle on it. And the angle is where it's at. Those targets always have to be angled. If you see, mine's got that angle to it. Those dueling trees come down. They've got that angle to throw all that spall and lead and everything down to the ground. So, all right, let's get this base out of the way. We can do a little bit of assembly. Get our hardware over here. See what's going on. Hopefully you guys are in the frame. This one just slides in the back. I like how these are tapered a little bit, so that gives you a little more stability there. Run those two together. Dump our hardware out here. No washers, just these two bolts. Got sirens going off in the background. If you guys can hear that, it's just the firehouse down the road. They fixing to go get after it. And that one is not wanting to recess. What's up with that? There we go. Had to put a little more man hands on it. That's what we had to do. Sometimes you just got to get out the big boy hands and just get after it. That's a pretty tight fit there. Got a little powder coating there. The hole's off just a touch, it looks like to me, but off just a touch. Mass manufacturing these, it gets hard to deal with each one. I don't know if I like it. I don't like that at all, really, to be honest. Can you guys see that? Got a bit of a bow to it, but it's the way it shows in the picture to put it together. So that's what we did. All right. Pretty cool there. We stake ours to the ground. Haven't had too many issues with that, but I'm not shooting where everybody else is shooting. So I don't know what your ground or range is like. That was loud. This may work out perfect for you or whoever it may be. Now those two went in really, really well. This one up here does not want to go in really, really well. So this one does have stake holes on the feet here. You can see those extra holes. So if you had some stakes you needed to use with them or what have you, you have that option. Whoa, that makes that base pretty heavy. These are supposed to run down on your legs so you can set them. They won't move. There's those. All right, so we've got our dowels here. And it says this one goes in the short one. This is C. Goes in the short one per the instructions. And then we've got a longer one. These three are the same. I would say the long one goes in the keyhole because the keyhole slot is the shortest slot. And then, so if you want to turn your 2x4 this way, you put it in this hole right here. If you want to turn your 2x4 this way, you put it in this hole right here. Pretty self-explanatory. All right, then I like this part of it. These are recessed out for holding your targets. So that is kind of nice. Pretty nifty deal there. I don't know who's going to pack it around like this because it's going to be extremely heavy, but. All right, ladies and gents, there you go. Our dueling tree and their dueling tree. I am still very concerned about this center rod. You can see right now it's a little tweaked. I'm going to try to rebolt that up and see if I can make that any better. Make sure it wasn't just me. I believe there's some room for improvement there on the center rod, but I'm really liking that base. It's a really good idea. I'm liking how they integrated all the other options for everything. Pretty sure I want to do something like that in the future, but I don't know. We're gonna see what happens here. This is pretty cool. Liking the base. I think they should have spent just a little touch more time on the center rod there. Everything seems to swing fairly well. It's not extremely smooth, but it's not terrible. Doesn't seem real rickety. Now, you've seen it flop there just a touch, so everybody knows, and anybody that's shot before will understand this. You're never looking for a solid rest or a solid backstop here. You want some give to that target and a little ability to absorb the energy that you're putting down range at these targets, and you want to make sure it's going to take that. So we're going to get this joker out to the range next. We're going to put some rounds on a steel. I'm going to put some rounds on the center. Hopefully I can. And I would like to shoot where these pieces of pipe are right here to see. One thing I'd like to see them do is go with some backers like we do on ours. Maybe not quite like this, but something similar on theirs. That would help quite a bit, I think. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back. We are at the range at Irvington Sportsman's Club. Fine facility down here, cheap for the whole family. Good place to come down and throw some lead down range. But we are here primarily to do a review and get some lead on this good-looking AR-500 steel dueling tree and see how she holds up. You guys know we're a little apprehensive about the center post. Don't think there'll be an issue whatsoever there. But hey, there's only one way to find out. Let's put some lead on and see what happens. What are we shooting today? So we got our Glock 40. We'll be putting some 40 rounds on here. And we have our High Point 9mm carbine. So we're going to be putting some 9mm carbine rounds on here. See how well it holds up to that. See if we can get the target to rack around a little bit, do some moving, and see what happens. But yeah, enough BS. Let's get after it. All right, ladies and gents, what are we going to be shooting with now? We've got the High Point carbine out. Not a very expensive gun, but a fun gun to shoot nonetheless. This gun has, I don't know, it may be a High Point, but it has proven itself over the few years we've owned it and it is a blast to shoot. We've got the extended mags and everything for it. Yeah, they look funny, but they help out a little bit. But yeah, carbine, 9mm. This is model 993. So not a bad little deal. So let's get on it, see what happens. All right, here we go. Burn the hole. All right, ladies and gents, let's take a look so you can see on this dueling tree here. We were hitting it on the stake there. It didn't want to turn that paddle, so you got to make sure you're in the center and get after it. Anything close over here on the sides, you can see, just didn't want to turn that. So even with the carbine, you know, it's got a little more get up and go with it. It didn't want to turn them. So all right, really focus several rounds on this center post here. You can see we caught it in between everything. Looks like it may be bent just a touch, but not enough. I'd have to put a straight edge on it and make sure, but it held up pretty good. Got right at the joint with one too, right there. So that shows you she held up pretty good. Not bad at all. I don't know over time how good this post is gonna hold up. Only time will tell. And maybe later on down the road, we can get you a up-to-date video. Go back and revisit this and see how well everything's holding up. So something I didn't notice before, but I am noticing now. So with your bolts here, you want to make sure you either don't use these or you leave them out and just use the one that you're utilizing as far as which peg or which hole you're in to hold your target stand in. These other ones are starting to get spall on them. It's messing with the threads, so that's something to be cognizant of and keep your mind out with it. But yeah, overall, it held up really good. There is no more than just the paint knocked off those plates. She is holding up fantastic. But overall, as far as the dueling tree, believe it's a good product. I really liking the stand. Still a little apprehensive about the center stake, but you know, that's just only time will tell on that. All right, ladies and gents, back in here with the dueling tree. So that concludes our review on the AR500 dueling tree. So like I said, it's parts mojo.